John here, and obviously it's Christmas. We have a Christmas tree here to prove it. And this is another message of hope. When I stopped drinking, I remember the night fairly well. It was a bit hazy, but I was working in a psychiatric hospital. I had been in a binge for a couple of months and I was in charge of the ward, and one of the managers came in and they found me going into the DTs. Not in a very good state, I have to say. And he decided that perhaps I shouldn't be in charge of the ward. Smart man. I wasn't too happy about that because I had the keys to the drug cupboard, and as far as I was concerned, that was my safety blanket. Because I used to just help myself. So I was in a pretty bad state. They took me up to the big manager's office, and I sat there, and I remember what I said to him. I said, "I'm just a hopeless case." You know? And he looked at me and he said, "You may well be, but you're not a lost cause." And something about that just got to me. And it gave me hope. That hopelessness just seemed to, I wouldn't say it dissipated, but it lessened. And after that, I started to get sober. It wasn't easy, I can assure you, because I was in such a bad state physically, mentally, and certainly spiritually. So I was in a really bad place. But I had some hope, and I started to get sober. About a year later, I had been off the drink for a whole year, and that had never happened to me before. Never, ever. I was beginning to feel okay physically. I was beginning to gain some weight again. I was beginning to feel a wee bit more relaxed. I was actually starting to sleep at night. I had some appetite now, and I was just beginning to feel okay. I was beginning to feel okay. After that, I went back to education. I got a degree, then I went on, I got a doctorate, and all sorts. And eventually I became a teacher of people who helped other people. And, I'd come from this sort of hopeless drunk to basically the professor who was actually teaching people to help people like me, And if that's not a message of hope, I don't know what is. Because there's tremendous hope here, tremendous hope. I've seen many of my friends come from a similar position to myself. And there's one of them back in Scotland at the moment I was in contact with recently, and he started his own business. He is a carer. He has a caring business. Now remember, he was in a bad state. He used to drink with me, so you can imagine how bad a state he was in, And here he is with his own business. Again, he's about 25 years sober. And I've seen many people do that. Now, if you're a drinker, and you're thinking about changing, you can. You can do it. If I can do it, anybody can do it. In fact, I remember when I got 1 year sober, and I was at an AA meeting, and they asked me to tell my story, and I said, "Is that because I'm so good?" And they said, "No." He said, "It's because if you can get it, anybody can get it, and that's the message. That's the message." But one of the greatest things you could do if you're a drinker at this time of the year is to give your family hope. Give your family hope that you are going to stop drinking, that you are going to change your life. Because you don't just change your life, you change your whole family's life, you change your friend's life. And that's a tremendous gift to give at this time of the year. If you're the family of a drinker, then yeah, there is hope. There's always hope. One of the things in Bottled Up is that we take you through a program that makes that hope that bit more possible, that bit more probable. But it doesn't happen overnight. the hope is something that you hang on to while you're waiting. The hope is something that you cling on to. It's like a life raft. Yeah. So anyway, I don't want to get too somber because after all, as I said, it's Christmas, you know. So there is a video which tells you how to survive Christmas, and I suggest that you go and you watch it. But in the meantime, I hope that you have a wonderful Christmas and that Christmas is everything that you hoped and wished it to be. Merry Christmas. Bye.